If you are new to Toronto and you would like to rent a house or a condo, there are specific documents that you would need. In this video, I'm going to tell you what documents and what you need to rent a place in Toronto. Hey everyone, this is Ari Armani, Toronto real estate agent, and in this video, I'm going to tell you how to rent a place in Toronto and what documents you would need in order to rent a place in Toronto. Also, at the end of the video, or let's say in the description of this video, I'm going to put a link down below that you can browse and find the available rental listings in the city of Toronto. Whether you want to rent a condo in downtown or a house up north, you can find properties. If you're looking to rent either a house or a condo in Toronto, I'm going to put the link down in the description. You can browse the available rental condos or houses in the link down below in the description. Well, without further ado, let's take a look at the documents that you would need in order to rent a place in Toronto. First one is employment letter or job contract. Many landlords in Toronto would like to see your employment letter or your job contract in order to make sure that you can afford to pay the rent. Some of you might be new to Canada or new to Toronto and you currently don't have a job or employment. In that case, there are other ways to show the landlord that you're able to pay the rent. I'm going to talk about those at the end of this video. But if you have a job letter or employment letter, I suggest you add or attach the most recent pay stubs that you have. Let's say 2 or 3 recent pay stubs that you have to your employment letter. That would make your case or make your rental application even stronger, and that would help the landlord to choose or accept your rental application. Number 2 is the credit report. The most commonly used credit report in Canada is Equifax credit report. There are 2 versions of Equifax credit report. The first version is the report only, and the second version is the report plus your score, your credit score. In order to make your application stronger, I highly suggest you get the report that has your credit score on it. Sometimes the landlords would pull the credit report for you, and sometimes the real estate offices also can pull the credit report for you if you have signed a rental application form, which is form 410 or ORIA form 410, which is a standard rental application. So if you have that form signed, your real estate agent or the real estate brokerage can also pull the credit report for you. That's what we do, at least as an additional service to our clients. Number 3 is a piece of photo ID. For example, your driver's license, or if you're new to Canada, you copy of your passport and your visa. Number 4 is the filled out rental application, which I mentioned to you is form 410. A little further in this video, I'm going to tell you how to fill out the form 410, which is the rental application. Okay, before explaining to you what is form 410 and explaining further about the rental process, I'm going to tell you how it works in Ontario. In Ontario, as a tenant, you can directly call a landlord, go see the property, and get into the contract with the landlord directly. Or you can use the service of a real estate agent who represents your interests in order to find and prepare an offer or a contract for you. So if you talk to a landlord yourself directly, all the due diligence and stuff regarding the contract, deposit, money, everything you have to handle or manage yourself. If you use the service of a real estate agent, the real estate agent is going to take care of the paperwork and other steps for you. For example, if you talk to a landlord directly, you have to give the money to the landlord, and it's on you to make sure if that person is the actual owner of that place, or when you give your deposit, for example, first and last to the landlord, where does the money go? Whereas when you're dealing with real estate brokerages, first of all, real estate brokerages, listing agents, because we have co-op agent who represents the tenants and the buyers, and we have a listing agent who represents landlords or sellers. When you're dealing with them, the listing agent has the duty to make sure the person that is signing the contract as the landlord first is identified, second is the actual owner or representative of the owner of that place. So there's one check here for the landlord. Also, the agent who represents the tenant has to verify the identity and check the paperwork. So this is another check on the tenant side. And later on, when these two get into an agreement, the tenant is going to give a deposit, let's say a bank draft of first and last month rent deposit. That bank draft or that deposit goes to sit in a trust account in the listing brokerage. So the money is going to be sitting in the trust account of the listing brokerage, and the listing brokerage is not allowed to release the money to the landlord until the deal closes. The deal closes means that the landlord hands over the key to the tenant. And so as you can see, dealing with real estate brokerages has its own advantages and makes the process easier for the tenants. Now let's take a look at the rental application form 410. Before telling you how to fill out that form, I'm going to tell you about two things. First is that if you're new to Canada, or let's say for example you're a student, or you don't have a job at the moment, or you don't have credit history, the process of finding a place might be more difficult for you than someone else who has job and credit history in Canada. Just so you know, as a rule of thumb, landlords are looking for a gross monthly income 3 times of the rent. So let's say for example, if your income, your monthly gross income is $6,000, normally landlords are comfortable to rent you a place that is around $2,000, a little more or less. So I was going to give you a heads up in case if your income is low, or you're new to Canada, no jobs, or you're a student with a part-time job, you might face some difficulty in order to secure a place. There are ways to make that work. For example, one of them can be you add a guarantor to your lease. The guarantor can be, let's say, someone else, your relative, or someone else who agrees to be your guarantor on the lease contract. And also that person has to have, for example, a good job and good credit. That makes the landlord feel comfortable that, let's say for example, worst case scenario, if you cannot pay the rent, the guarantor can cover your rent for you. And there are other ways too, which I'm not gonna go into the details in this video. All right, let's go take a look at form 410 and see how you can fill it out. In another video, I will talk to you about a standard Ontario lease form, which you would sign after your offer gets accepted. All right, let's take a look at form 410 and we're gonna wrap up this video after this. If you have any questions later on, shoot me a message. You can book a consultation meeting with me, or if you are looking to find the available rental places in Toronto, whether it's a condo rental downtown or a house somewhere else, I will leave the link down below to the database of available rental properties in Toronto. Okay, let's look at the form 410. Okay, the rental application. The rental application form 410. The first line is the address of the place that you want to rent. We put it here from the day, the starting day of the rental term, from the, for example, first day of January 2023, or whatever else that you want. And then here in this section, you type the rental amount, monthly rental amount, to become due and payable in advance on the, let's say for example, if you put the day, first day of, for example, January or February or March 2023, or any year, you put the, for example, first. If you put in this section, you put 15th, here also you put 15. This section, you put your name, main application. If you're a couple, you put both your names. If you have, for example, kids, you put the kids' names here, date of birth, SIN number. SIN number is optional and you don't need to fill it out. Driver's license number. If you don't have a driver's license, you can like scratch it and write down, let's say, PR card or passport number or whatever. Occupation, you write down your occupation. If you're a couple, the same goes for your partner. Down there, do you have any pets? If so, describe. If you have no pets, you write no. If you have a pet, you describe, let's say for example, like 2-year-old poodle or something, or anything that you need to write down here. Why are you vacating your present place of residence? You write down like a short reason for you. Let's say for example, you are gonna move for work or this and that. Last 2 places of residence, you put the last place here and the second last place here where you were living before that. Present employment, prior employment. This section is for the main applicant, for person number 1. And for person number 2, or like partner or spouse or anything, you write it down here. Your spouse or partner's employment, you write it down here. Name of bank, you can put your bank name, branch, address, or whatever. Financial obligation, for example, if you have a car lease, for example, car lease, the amount of lease is, let's say for example, I don't know, $500 or whatever, you write it down here. Personal references. Okay, this is important. This is something that many landlords look at them. You put down 2 people who know you and can vouch for you. The personal references, it's better to be professional. However, here in the employment letter, you write down the name of supervisor that the landlord can call and verify your employment with. So just so you know that, you also put the name of supervisor here so they can get in touch with. But here also, if you know somebody, for example, your hockey team member, or let's say for example, your childhood friend, or let's say for example, your colleague who's sitting you next door or whatever, or your whatever you can, please fill this part out with 2 personal references, 2 people that you know, phone number, address, length of acquaintance. Let's say for example, if you know them for 2 years, 5 years, 10 years, or whatever, their occupation, and that's it. Automobile. If you have any cars, please write it down here. And after that, you're going to sign the rental application. As you can see, the application is hereby notified that the consumer report containing credit and or personal information may be referred to in connection with this rental. So basically, maybe it might sound a little bit weird, but that basically, that like bold lines tells you that you are consenting to getting your credit report pulled when you sign this application. So once you sign this application, the landlord or the agent or anybody who you provide this application to can basically pull your credit and check your credit. Alright, if you enjoyed today's video, please subscribe to our channels and stay tuned for more videos.